Hello everyone and welcome to my class. So for today's lesson, I am going to discuss to you the genes and traits. So before we move on to our official discussion, I am just going to introduce myself. I am Hannah Krista P. Dieto and I am going to be your teacher of today. So our objective is that the learner should be able to identify dominant and recessive traits. Second is create and solve a Punnett squares. The third is determine how traits are passed down from parents to offspring. And the learning competencies is explain how the genes and traits works together to get the genetics of the parent cell. Second is predict phenotypic expression of traits following simple pattern of inheritance. So next is I am going to show a short video of the genes and traits. Your genotype is your genetic makeup and is your DNA. Your phenotype is all your observable traits, like your hair color and your gorgeous smile. You carry a ton of hidden things in your genes that will never show up. Like all organisms that sexually reproduce, offspring get half their genes from each parent. The different forms of the same trait on a chromosome are called alleles. Alleles are located on the same position in a chromosome. When alleles are combined, it's the trait that shows up. Both the male and female parent P's are round. Since the round-shaped allele capital R is dominant, even if their offspring receive a wrinkled allele small r, they're still round. The wrinkle doesn't even show up even though it's in their genes. But if an offspring receives two of the wrinkled alleles, then that P is as wrinkled as your crumbled up old homework. So as you can see, everyone is very unique and different with so many different combinations of traits. So we get our traits from our parents. The recipe of how we are put together is in our DNA, which are on chromosomes. We get half of our chromosomes from our mom and half from our dad. So, what is genes? So, genes is the basic unit of heredity passed from parent to child. Genes are made up of sequences of DNA and are arranged one after another at specific locations on chromosomes in the nucleus of cells. So next is what is traits. So when you think of the word traits, you might think of personality traits like compassionate or a good sense of humor. So in genetics, traits are characteristics about humans and other living organisms that can be described or measured. Traits can be physical or behavioral. So who among you has a sibling, as brother or a sister? So now if we get half our traits from each parent, and we have the same parents as our siblings, why do we look different from our siblings? Okay, the answer is we do look similar to our siblings, but each of us is a new combination of chromosomes and traits of our parents, and the same ingredients but different in combinations. Okay? So next is each of our traits can be thought of as either dominant or recessive. So what is dominant? So dominant is an inherited trait that results from the expression of the dominant allele over the recessive allele. And dominant is represented by capital letter. So any capital letter, R, S, L, O, basta capital letter. So dominant traits are always seen and can hide recessive traits. Dominant traits are seen, but some may be carrying a recessive trait that can be passed on to the kids. So next is recessive. So recessive is a trait that is expressed only when genotype is homozygous, and it is represented by a small letter. Any letter, basta small. So recessive traits are hidden by the dominant traits but can be seen if there are two recessive genes together. Example is duha ka small letter. So duha ka small letter nga A, small letter nga B, C, D, any small letter basta duha can be seen. Pero kung na siya capital letter, sample capital letter B and capital letter B and small letter B, so the recessive cannot be seen. Otherwise, the dominant is only be seen. So let's think about eye color. Brown eyes are dominant and blue eyes are recessive. Let's say that a B represents a brown eye gene and the small b represents a blue eye gene. So, BB, capital letter B is equal to brown eyes, and capital B and small b is equal to brown eyes but carries the blue eye gene in the small letter B is the blue eyes. So the only way that blue eyes will be seen if there are two little b's. Is it possible for two brown-eyed parents to have a blue-eyed child? So let's solve. So let's see. So mother is equal to capital B and small b, while the father is capital B and small b, and the child is equal to two small b's. And now I am going to show you how to solve and write a Punnett square. So let's write down the given. The mother has the dominant capital B and the recessive small b, the same as the father. So let's solve the genotype of their offspring. So let's draw a 4 squares and write at the top the parents' genotype. And then let's multiply the same procedures and now we have their offspring genotype, which is the recessive B. Whenever there is an uppercase letter and a lowercase letter is equal to heterozygous. Whenever two genes are both the same, it is a homozygous. So both lowercase bb is homozygous recessive, and both uppercase capital letter B is it a homozygous dominant. So I have posted a activity in our Google Classroom. So I want you all to participate and answer the activity. Thank you so much, students, and God bless us always.